and welcome to Teleislas News with the most relevant and important information of the day. Compliance and with the reconstruction of providing solution to the families affected by Hurricane Eta and Iota. In a meeting held between the Secretary of Planning in the department and other companies, there was a talk about providing solution for 16 houses in the archipelago.
The Planning Secretary Angelica Hernandez Vasquez informed Teleislas News in a telephone call that the population of Sun Bay and the Blowing Hole are among those affected by this initiative's priority.
The idea is to make projects that include common spaces, and the beneficiaries must be people affected by Hurricanes Eta and Iota that are located in Sun Bay and the Blowing Hole, for which unfortunately they cannot be susceptible to repairs of their homes or relocation in the same lot because it is located in a risk zone. These people must be in the state that is called EDAN, which is a list that is managed by the Office of Risk Management.
According to the head of the planning office, the idea of the meeting was to finalize the details for the completion of these 16 housing solutions.
The main objective of the meeting was to finalize details for the initiation of the agreement with Ecopetrol and Essentia, who will donate 16 housing solutions. The government will provide the lot, and Essentia, which is the company that manages the social responsibility of Ecopetrol, will donate the 16 housing solutions.
Work is estimated to begin in November of this present year.
The coordinating team for vaccination against COVID-19 informed that the third dose is now available for people over 70 years of age in San Andres.
The application of the third dose of the vaccine against COVID-19 for the population over 70 years of age began in San Andres. According to the vaccination coordinator, the objective is to ensure that the booster is applied and the vaccination schedule is completed for this population group with high vulnerability indexes to the virus infection.
Seguir reforzando el sistema inmunológico.
To continue reinforcing the immune system. We know that the virus has different mutations, so we have to adapt the body to these other mutations that are forming.
The elderly will be able to access the third dose of the vaccine at the Departmental Hospital and the health post of San Luis and on the Hill.
Los puntos que tenemos en esta semana son
the sites we have this week are the tent at the hospital, the health center of San Luis, and the health center on the Hill.
It is important to remember that this booster dose will only be applied to grandparents who already have the first 2 doses.
Aquí en San Andrés desde la semana pasada.
In San Andres since last week, we began with the stage for people over 70 years old who have already applied their second dose to receive the booster shot. The booster is received 6 months after the second dose is applied. At this moment, it is only for people over 70 years of age.
In this way, those over 70 years of age who have completed their vaccination schedule 6 months in advance will receive a third dose or booster dose of the vaccine against COVID-19 as determined by the Ministry of Health.
In order to reforest the areas affected by Hurricanes Eta and Iota, which caused the loss of several trees in the coastal area, a planning day will take place tomorrow in the department.
On Tuesday, October 12th, the Great National Planting Day will be held throughout Colombia, an initiative that contributes to the goal of planting 180 million trees, proposed by the national government and led by the Ministry of Environment and Sustainable Development, in addition to the Environmental Corporation Coralina, with the planting of trees along the coastline of the department.
For tomorrow, we will be doing the Great Planting Campaign, or Sembraton, which will not only be tomorrow. We begin tomorrow, however, we will continue on different days. We will be planting on the western coastal edge, where we have identified 2 points that are in the area of Villa Helen and Schooner Bight. In addition, we are prioritizing trees such as coconut trees, and there are also other properties that are linked to where we are going to be with the fruit trees. This is an activity where many institutions and organizations have joined, so if anyone is interested, we expect them tomorrow, but the opening ceremony will be in the sector of Schooner Bight at 9 in the morning.
The planting will be done in areas affected by the passage of Hurricanes Eta and Iota. With this activity, the Coralina Corporation seeks to help regreen the archipelago department.
And islanders will have a new job opportunity this week in the Employment Micro Job Fair to be held by Sena in order to fill vacancies in various positions in the tourism sector.
The Sena, through its public employment agency, will hold a micro-job fair as an excellent opportunity for islanders to access a formal job opportunity with legal benefits. The event is scheduled for October 13th and 14th.
We have been accompanying companies of the archipelago to manage their human resources. As we know, different tourist service companies are in operation, and on October 13th and 14th, Wednesday and Thursday, we will be developing a micro-employment fair, specifically for one of these companies that will be in operation soon and that requires personnel in the trades of kitchen, reception, bellboys, maintenance operator, among others.
The regional director of Sena indicated the requirements and basic documentation to be submitted by those interested in applying for these vacancies.
Those who are interested can come to the job fair at the Sena facilities in the Francisco Newell Avenue and bring their resume with all their academic and work experience that certifies those positions or roles they want to occupy. Or if they do not have these documents, they can receive assistance and advice from the Sena so they can effectively have and be available with all the information for this selection process that will be conducted with the support of the Public Employment Agency of the Sena.
With this event, Sena expects to have a positive impact on job creation. In this sense, all those interested in finding a job are invited to apply for the different vacancies.
And this afternoon, the president of the Departmental Assembly of the island announced that the control body opened the call to elect the new Secretary of Control of this entity.
For the first time, the Departmental Assembly will have a General Secretary, and to make this nomination, the Duma opened the call to choose the professional to assume this important position within the political control body.
Convocatory for the General Secretary from the Assembly Hall, and we are asking the community to bring the fly sheet. This reception will be from the 19th to the 20th October. The person have to talk English and be resident. You find it by the resolution 047 from 2021. The requirement is be lawyer, economy, administration, engineer, industrial engineer, or trabajadora social. 2 years experience, and these are the requirements that we have from our manual. Our manual here from the Assembly, we find a manual that we are rule under, and we have the website from the Assembly where you can find all the instruction for this post that we are going that we have published and that we are going to select for the election here in the Assembly this year.
The President of the Assembly indicated that it is important that those running for public office be proficient in English as part of the requirements for public office.
Face-to-face classes are once again taking over the Sena facilities with a new offer of academic training. Here is all the information you need to know about this.
New academic opportunities are established in the classrooms of the National Learning Service, Sena, where it is expected to train about 300 people in technical and technological programs of interest for employability in the island archipelago. In a dialogue with Lorena Aldana, the regional director of Sena, she told us about the offer.
We want to tell the whole community of the archipelago that the Sena has opened enrollment for on-site technological, technical, operator, and assistant training programs. In total, we have 300 places available in 12 training programs related to administrative areas, construction, tourism services, and other trades that at this time in a particular and conjunctural way are required in the island territory.
Among the academic offerings are programs in cooking, entrepreneurship, administrative assistance and management, human and talent management, accounting and finance, among other courses designed for practicality and labor access in the islands. These academic programs are designed to be accessed in schedules ranging from 7 in the morning to 1 in the afternoon, from 1 to 6 in the afternoon, and from 6 to 11 at night.
We want to invite all people who are still pending to define their life project so that through training they can acquire a degree and skills to enter the labor market. Enrollment will be open until October 19 in the different days that we have established in the training center for the different educational processes we have.
In addition, descriptions to the courses are available on the Sena Sofia plus.edu.do platform, but can also be done from the facilities of the Sena during office hours. For more information about the programs and to obtain assistance in the process.
But now we go on to Providence with all the information of that municipality with Millicent O'Neill.
Good evening to all our viewers. This is the most relevant information from Old Providence and Catalina. Through a document directed to SOPESA, the departmental government ratified their intention to pay for the electric service of the people in Old Providence.
By means of an official document, the intention to pay SOPESA, the energy production company, for energy consumption in the islands of Old Providence and Santa Catalina was ratified. This is in response to a commitment acquired by the governor with the community affected by Hurricanes Eta and Iota. The document puts an end to the uncertainty expressed by the community due to the arrival of light bills for electricity consumption, by which the energy producing company demanded payments for their services. It also clarifies that the government will assume the payment from January until November 2021, month in which the disaster situation decree is no longer in effect. At the end of the document, there is a request for the non-suspension of the energy services to users in the municipality.
Over the weekend, members of the Batam House community blocked the streets for a few hours. More information with Dean.
The community in the neighborhood of Batam House blocked the road leading to the field hospital when they realized that reconstruction workers would begin work on the house of an outsider who is not currently on the island. The community demanded that priority be given to the elderly and people with special needs in that area.
You got a man from Spain, down in there, man got away from the second day from the hurricane, you understand? So when we look at man them come with truck, we start, you got my sister, you got Gerda, them we got sick picnic, you got one of my cousins them was sick there and thing, and then come now I start for them before we understand. And we know the permit that down in here. Because when we figure radical, we radical. Exactly. They don't have no priority at all. They don't have no priority, you understand? Look at Mr. James down there, we got 90 years, then come and break down for about 2 weeks and can't start yet neither. Every day, next week, that one feature with the panic calendar will no exist.
The local government attended the call of the community as well as the representatives of Findeter. Today they are working on a list of commitments and at least 4 priority houses developed by the community itself.
And in other news, today marked the beginning of the Territories in Dialogue program that seeks to train participants in audiovisual narratives.
The Ministry of Culture, Poliedro, and the British Council kicked off Territories in Dialogue 2021, a training process that seeks to contribute to the knowledge of creators and cultural managers in audiovisual narratives.
It's important to bring these sorts of processes to the young people of Providence because it's an island full of talent that needs tools and processes and capacity building to strengthen their projects, to be able to tell their stories in a better way, with all the knowledge that they need to actually transmit the richness of their culture.
Emprender a nivel cultural es...
Cultural entrepreneurship is to manage processes individually or collectively in favor of the culture of a territory or a population. This can be for profit or not for profit. As for community entrepreneurship, it is non-profit and is the collective management of a community to solve problems that afflict the same community or the same territory.
During this first session, they teach the importance of cultural entrepreneurship as community entrepreneurship and how it can be applied in Old Providence. The first module will conclude tomorrow, and the second module will be held between October 19 and the 22nd.
And the second phase of the action plan by the public utility superintendents will focus on San Andres, Providence, and Catalina.
Until the 2nd of December, the Superintendents of Domiciliary Public Services will be carrying out the second phase of its shock plan focus on San Andres, Providence, and Santa Catalina in order to listen to users, identify their problems, know their perception on the provision of domiciliary public services, among others.
A commitment we made here with the community of Old Providence. A little more than 2 months ago, we came and had a work table called Building Public Utilities. The shock plan that comes to San Andres, Old Providence, and Santa Catalina is going to have more than 4,000 interviews to get to know the reality of the provision of public services, but from the users, face to face.
More than 4,000 interviews will be carried out, some door to door and others by telephone, in search of the user's opinion about these services.
From there, we are going to obtain a lot more information, especially about the provision of gas and electricity services here on the island of Old Providence, because in some way, the water and sewage services are already making progress in their intervention thanks to the PEICA takeover.
The information collected will allow to strengthen the actions of inspection, surveillance, and control within this territory.
This is all the information we have for tonight for this section of Old Providence and Catalina. You guys can continue in San Andres with more Teleislas news. Salua.
Thank you, Millicent, and all that information from our sister island there in Providence. And now we go on to see what's cultural information is going on here in our archipelago. The Sandino Ellis Manuel Training School, EFASME, opens its doors again. It's an alternative for all the children here on this island.
The Secretary of Culture, Louis Telesford, announced that everything is ready to start the workshops and training activities of the Sandino Manuel Ellis Training School, which traditionally teaches traditional music and other arts to children on the island.
The escuela EFASME, Escuela de Formación Artística Sandino Manuel Ellis, we have to the community different courses for different instruments. We have several instructors from harjabun to tub, voice training. We have career classes also with some teachers. So we extend invitation to the community to inscribe in children so they can be a part of the school and live our culture.
Registration will take place at the Cultural House on the Hill sector, and it is expected to have the participation of boys and girls from different sectors of the island. It is important that children are accompanied by their parents to register. Once registered, students will be able to choose the activity or instrument they wish to learn.
And now let's know the weather forecast for tomorrow. The weather forecast for tomorrow, October 12th, Tuesday, in the coastal area of the archipelago, the skies will be with isolated storms. The temperature of 29 degrees Celsius with wind from northeast direction with intensities of 11 kilometers per hour. The humidity forecast is of 76% and the probability of precipitation is 30%.